In order to teach you the good stuff that a designer needs, we need a more complicated data set. All you need are some QVDs and a script, not to mention a business problem that needs solving. Remember at the beginning of our journey when that manager demanded a way to see sales performance? This is how we're going to do it. QVDs are QlikView data files. Think of them as a table in an Excel worksheet that is optimized to work in your QlikView app. Instead of loading data from Excel, we'll load it straight from a QVD. They're optimized to be extremely small and extremely fast to load. They're also reusable so that you can use the same data set in multiple apps. That reusability gets to be extremely important when you start using complicated data sets. Imagine going to your database admin and telling them that you need some data from a bunch of different tables and databases and that you need them to build you a query. After they grumble about priorities and deadlines and complexities and you give them a donut, they agree to help, and a couple of days later you have your query, which they tell you is a beautiful piece of work. But it takes forever to run, and you need to use it in a few different QlikView apps. A single QlikView app can be used to create and update a QVD that loads in seconds. We had a taste of the QlikView script when we loaded the data from worldbank.org. The script is simply the code that loads and possibly transform your data so that you can build your QlikView app. It loads in the order that it's written, top to bottom, and if you have multiple tabs, left to right. We have 3 steps to get ready to build the app. First, unzip the QVDs and script into a folder. You'll also need to save your app into the same folder. Next, copy the script into the script editor in QlikView. Finally, I'll show you the basic defaults that you should set up when you get going. Open QlikView and click the button for a new document. Skip the wizard by pressing X. Press Ctrl-E to access the script editor. Delete the default set statements. Copy the scripts from AdventureWorksScripts.txt and paste it into the editor. Ctrl-A, Ctrl-C, and Ctrl-B for paste. Click Reload. Save the document in the same folder that you saved the QVDs. Close the Properties window, and now you're ready to build the app. Before we get going and actually building the app, though, we want to set some defaults. It will make it much easier as you build the charts and graphs you need to explore sales. Open the document properties by going to Settings, Document Properties. There are a ton of options that you should experiment with, but we're going to hit a few that you should use every time you create an app. First, give it a title. Next, put yourself in there as the author. Click Generate Log File. Doing so will create a log of the reload process each time you reload the app. It really helps diagnose any problems with your load script. If you like, you can change the background color. Unless you have a really good reason not to, make it white. Change the styling mode to advanced. You'll get extra options to help fine-tune the look of your app. A quirk of the document properties is that advanced options aren't available until you click OK, which closes the dialog box. And then you have to go back in. So let's do that. Click OK. Back into Settings and Document Properties. If your company requires a specific font, go to the Font tab and make your selection. Font. Select your font. Next, go to the Layout tab. There are a couple things here that I always change. The first one is the border color. The default is blue and it's just too obnoxious. Change it to a light gray by clicking the color, and then the base color, and choosing a light gray. If you have a specific color, you can also put in the RGB values. Click OK and OK. Rounded colors is another thing that I avoid. They tend to make the alignment of your object softer, and we want to convey strength and confidence. Uncheck the box. Now click on the Caption tab. The caption is a title bar in your charts and graphs. For now, let's just look at the inactive and active captions. The difference is whether or not you've clicked on an object, and the default behavior is to have different color for active and inactive. I found it unnecessary, so I make them the same. You could click on the color box like we did before, but there's a shortcut. Right-click on the color you'd like to paste, click Copy, right-click on the other one, click Paste All. Now they're the same. Click OK, and that's it. We're ready to build. Before we do, let's quickly review. We learned how to bring in data from Excel, making sure that we cleaned up the worksheets so they look like data tables. We also learned about how QlikView joins on like field names. Next, we built the data model for the AdventureWorks projects by learning about QVDs and copying a complex script into the editor. Finally, we set up document defaults to make life easier when we build the actual app. In the next module, we'll start learning to build the best part, the interface of the app that you'll use to explore the data.